6:15 right now. Oh, we're live.
Matt, stop talking about them.
I know. Hey, wait.
Oh my gosh. There has to be so many really good blunders about that. People going live and or not.
Oh, there have been.
Yeah, well, I missed it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Amy.
Right.
Oh, me either.
I missed it. I'm a little bummed about that. Is there actually a
It wasn't even anything. It was just they didn't know they were live.
That was what was funny about it, because I figured that they did know they were live. So whenever it was like, oh shit, that's what was funny.
Well, because I knew John, so I was like talking. I was like, "Oh, can I say hi to John?" And I was like, "Are you guys live?" Because it said live in the corner, and they were like, "No, we're not live." And I was like, "All right,
hilarious." Well, we are live.
Yes,
Hey,
we are.
hey.
See a little banter that we have going on here, but we are incredibly excited tonight because this is the introduction to, I mean, we've had Miss Erin on before, but it was just kind of a temporary thing. Now she's like, she's in it, she's stuck, she's not going anywhere. It's like we did the blood pact and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like we're all in this together now, and she can't go anywhere. So you guys are so lucky you get Miss Erin with us as well. So welcome, Erin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic, thank you.
I just thought, I'm not really doing a lot, so why not add one more thing to
Right. You're just exactly.
I'm so bored all the time.
Oh, you're just sitting around doing nothing. And
So many empty minutes. Like, what are we?
I know. Add one more thing.
Sorry, there's a little bit of feedback, so I had to put us on here, and then I have to wait to be able to pause it, because otherwise I can't see any of the comments. So
yeah, I actually. Oh darn it! I should have done that.
I literally just did
so
it
I can
myself.
see the comments.
I'm the worst at this. Like, I don't. It's amazing that they trust me with YouTube, because I'm still trying to figure it out.
I have no idea what I'm doing. So,
well, we got it together. We're here on time, which is fantastic. Hey to everybody that's hopping on here. I'm trying to actually see. It's not like scrolling, which is kind of driving me crazy, but see a couple people on here. Emily, Julie, Angie, Miss Amy Herberger. Hello. Thanks for everybody hopping on here. Hopefully those comments will start changing, because for some reason it's not doing it right now. I don't know, because
it feels like it's been years since like we've done this. I don't know. Does it like feel like it's been a long time?
It's been a while, but I mean, it actually hasn't been that long. You know what? It was just, I can't remember the last time we did it. It was a few weeks ago. I can't either.
It's like a blur the past few weeks.
So, I mean, we do have quite a list of stuff that we're going to be chatting about this evening. So I think that we can probably dive in. I should probably pull up the post so that we don't disappoint anybody, because I know, Amy, you always do a good job. Did you go through and see what people were?
I did, and I actually meant to pull it up, so let me do that now.
Yeah, I was looking at it earlier too.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I did see that there was a good amount, some comments on this, to make sure to address some stuff. So
yeah, it seemed like a lot of people wanted to hear about Etsy and KDP and all kinds of really good, excellent stuff that hopefully we'll address tonight.
Yeah, well, and actually, I mean, I'm sure we'll probably bop around a little bit, but we might as well start with a little bit of organization. So it does say, let's chat merch. So why don't we lead off with merch tonight, ladies? You got to say about merch.
I'm like,
hey, that's why we're all here. I mean, that's kind of what started it all.
It is. It seriously was like
that is. And I mean, I guess in there are a couple things. One, that multi-uploader thing. I did use it, which is pretty funny, because everybody knows that we haven't done anything with merch in months and months and months. Like, legit, all of our stuff has fallen off to where we don't have any more fall off. So we know like all of the stuff that's there are ones that like have stuck, because we haven't uploaded in that long. But I did, as soon as I got it, that the multi-product uploader, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to check it out. And I was like, great, I'm gonna upload multiple products, and I'm gonna be like, rejection. I'm like, I'm gonna like throw up a, mommy wine tea and accidentally hit youth or something. I knew I was gonna make a mistake, but I did not. They all went through. It was pretty freaking awesome, I have to say. And it gets me really excited to be able to get kind of a system down to really maximize that, because I think that's really, really powerful. What do you guys think about that new option?
I think I am living vicariously through y'all because I'm still waiting to be enabled.
Oh, I can't. I don't do that. So that part of it.
I don't really either, but I was like, I'm going to go through. And I actually handed him the laptop to John. I'm like, okay. I was like, throw in some keywords and stuff here. Like, I just put it in there. I just
well, Matt was having issues with it. It wasn't working right.
Wow.
So, and then he was talking to the developer guy and he was helping him and stuff. And then he just was like, I don't have time to do it, even to do the spreadsheets and all that. So he actually canceled his subscription as of right now. So I don't know if he'll go back and subscribe to it, but as of right now, we don't even have it. So we're not even using it.
No, I mean, we can actually just talk about like the opinions of it, but I'm talking about what merch rolled out. So on a rolling basis, they're doing it to where you can upload to multiple products.
And you can do everything but the puck buckets.
Oh, that thing. See, God, I don't do that, so I didn't even know.
Well, that was the thing. I usually don't either, but I was like, I kind of feel bad about, like, I should probably try and, take advantage of it a little bit and see. But anyways, it did. I mean, I guess just kind of thoughts on that. And I think it's incredible that they are working towards stuff like that. Because, I mean, I know that wasn't something that I did either, but it really was one of the barriers for us that kind of had us shift our focus, because just repetitively going through and that uploading process is incredibly time consuming, which is exactly why, like you said, even to get it structured out. So one of the things that I see at this point is how, merch can really be very, very powerful is if you're really, really organized. And we were not really, really organized with our business. That's just it. Like, we are not full of spreadsheets. We do not have everything. Like, I mean, even with, Merch Wizard that's out and Airtable and whatever, all of that stuff came out like a little bit on the cusp to when, we were really kind of shifting our focus. So it's a bummer. And anybody that is like anal about their organization on that, you guys have an incredible advantage, because you're going to be able to just crush it when you have everything organized in those spreadsheets and be able to know, okay, boom, I can just re-upload this or whatever. So I think that definitely moving in the right direction, especially to be able to upload to multiple different products. I think that's really, really cool. And I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully figuring out a way to be able to, even if we're able to, get a VA or borrow somebody's after they train them. That's kind of the ultimate goal. Borrow somebody's after they train them on how to organize, kind of like a merch business. I'd like to just be like, here's all the files, here's whatever.
Now, do you use Merch Wizard? Because I mean, that really is a powerful organizational tool, like I've found, because you can save all your PNGs, bullets, description, everything, and you can search all your listings.
Yeah,
it's really.
We actually started, and again, it was right before we like committed to like all of our focus going on our brand. So we just didn't dig into it enough, but we got a little bit of a taste of it, and you could see how crazy powerful that is. I mean, I don't think that if that's, when we actually do get back in, I think like and focus on building and getting those back up, because we have a ton of designs. I mean, we have a ton that should be going back up. So I mean, that's definitely on the horizon for sure before Q4. I know like it's just a little while, but we have some stuff to work on over the next couple months. But before Q4, that's the anticipation. But I think step one, which is going to be so painful for me, is to go through and figure out how to get all that stuff organized. And I will use Merch Wizard hands down, because I could see, again, just by seeing what John was going through when he was pulling all of the stuff in there and just seeing how powerful it was, like that stuff. And by the time I'm ready to use it, man, I think it should probably be like washing my dishes and folding my laundry for me too, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I would pay double for that.
Right. So, I mean, I guess we're kind of okay. So, Amy, what about you? What are you got going on with merch right now, or what's your focus with that?
Honestly, my big focus right now on merch has just been pop sockets. I'm not enabled yet for the amazing like beta program thing with all the putting it on all the products, but so I've been focusing a lot on pop sockets and adding a few different pods to like my arsenal. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with patterns and it's been fun.
And you fully use Merch Wizard now.
I use Merch Wizard a lot, but that's just for like organizing. I actually probably should use it more than I do, but it just kind of keeps me on track on like what's dropping off, what's about to drop off. Now with like going in and having to change words and stuff because of the new content policy. I mean, Merch Wizard makes that like a breeze.
That's cool. That's good.
So doing that too, because I know I had a few in there that are kind of like, yeah, better get rid of that faux glitter.
I was gonna say that's something that we need to bring up and talk too, because that's kind of a big thing that just came out, and I know there was a little bit of a confusion on that. And can you guys ladies want to talk about that?
Well, I know, like for me, I thought I was doing okay, and I was kind of towing the line, like it's like, yeah, it's either gonna work or it's not, by putting faux glitter, thinking, well, obviously if you read it, it's fake glitter. It's not really glitter. I'm kind of, I was skirting a little bit. So I have to go in and change all those. And, the rules have always been there. It's just now they're getting serious about it. So I'm really excited about them kind of coming down more on keyword stuffing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. And that's great, because I think what that's going to do is it's really going to allow for the shirts in those niches to be able to.
And that's great, because I think what that's going to do.
Matt, stop listening to me in the background. I can't.
I was like,
I knew it was him because I saw Aaron.
Pause.
I'm like, but yeah. So I think that. Now that got me all distracted. I don't even know what I was saying. But
well, I think Amy Herberger hit the nail on the head the other day in the Girl Boss group. Like, the sky isn't falling. Calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. This is actually good news. So
yeah. Oh yeah, the keyword stuffing thing. That's what. No, I think that it's incredible, because I mean the thing is when you're trying to go into a specific niche, whatever, and your shirt is very applicable to that. But everybody knows it's a hot niche, so they're just putting it in regardless of whether it applies or not. That takes up spot for your shirt to be seen by those customers that are looking for it. So I think that's fantastic, and we'll see how that all shakes out. But I mean, people shouldn't be doing it anyways. So.
Well, I think it's really important that they realize that this is about the customer. This is why they're doing that. It's so that the customer sees things more clearly. It makes sense to them. It doesn't look like a jumbled mess of words that don't make any sense. And, it makes the listings look better. And therefore, I mean, that's what Amazon is. That's why they do these things. And plus, they don't want shirts popping up about, A, when in all your keywords are about B. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. And so I think that's like the biggest thing that people need to understand is like, they're not doing this because they're trying to be picky or pick on you or, take money out of your pocket. They're actually trying to improve how the listings look. So
yeah. And as they improve the customer experience, that's only going to help improve our experience as content creators too. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. And then, I do need to go through admittedly and, there's some stuff that I have that is like glitter effect. And I know, and I don't know, to be honest though, I'm not sure if we actually use those terms, because I knew that was kind of a discussion a while back. Again, it would have been something listed over 6 months ago. But it was something that was a discussion, so I have to go back and see if we actually had those in our keywords and make sure to clean that up. So again, people, you have time. It's not something that, they just don't come put the smack down, right away. So just clean up your act a little bit, and moving forward, don't use that stuff. So moving right along into the second one is Procreate. And that is all Miss Amy. So you get to unmute yourself and just run with it, girl.
Yeah, sorry, I can hear my toddler in the background. My husband's like, Jason. So, yeah, Procreate is amazing. I play with it every day, and yeah, I've been making a lot of patterns with it. I don't really know like what to talk as far as like. I mean, it's a cool program for the iPad, where you can make your own graphics and just kind of do all the nice little art stuff if you want. So.
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, what are your top 3 things about like why you continue to use it?
I love to be able to create my absolutely original graphics that I can use. I don't have to worry about licensing. I don't have to worry about people changing their licensing policies like we've seen with the Hungry JPEG or whatever it's called a few times. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I feel like it's more free for me, and I have a lot less worry, and I enjoy it. I love creating. So it's just been the perfect.
This stuff is so good too. And I love right now, and I've seen you do a couple of like kind of these challenges, and maybe you can touch a little bit on that, like what you're doing right now. Cause I've seen some of your posts, and I know that you're working on, I think like repeating patterns and stuff like that, but there's some sort of like challenge that you're doing right now, right?
Yeah, there's a challenge that just started today. It's called the 100-day challenge. And basically what it is anything that you kind of want to improve on creatively, you just dedicate 100 days to it, whether it's writing a poem, making a sketch a day, watercolor, whatever. What I'm doing is patterns, a pattern a day, and a sketch a day with the pencil and book. So, but it's really cool because like these challenges, they help me be more accountable to doing it, and it helps me become better. So that's what I'm doing right now, the 100-day project. I think there's a website and everything that kind of talks about it. So
your patterns that you're doing, is that and is that why you're focusing a lot on pop sockets? Because that is what I think about. Like when I see what you're doing, I was like, man, those look great on pop sockets.
Exactly. I really want. Okay, so like in research with KDP, I see a lot of really nice pattern like designs on these books that are just killing it. And it's like, all right, I need to figure that out because I can put it on pop sockets, KDP covers, leggings. I've joined 2 more print on demand websites just within the last couple of days for more all over print. So I joined Society 6 and what was the other? Spreadshirt, I think, is the other one. But yeah, I just
free.
Huh?
Are those both free to hop on?
Yeah. It's just another print-on-demand site like Merch and Redbubble and stuff, and just casting a wider net and being able to take like the patterns and stuff and apply them to more products. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I love that. Have you found that have you been selling like leggings and some of the off stuff that you were not doing on Merch?
Not yet, because like on Redbubble, I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing wrong, because I know my stuff is pretty decent, but nobody's even seeing it, because you can go into like Redbubble and look and see like how many people have put eyes on your stuff, and it's like a big fat 0, and I'm like, must be my tags. I don't know. But I'm still kind of new to uploading them all everywhere, so we'll see.
Yeah, any Redbubble specialists, contact Miss Amy so that she can get her.
I need to watch all of RJ's little Redbubble videos. I haven't done that yet.
Okay, next in line we have KDP. I'm 100% out on this. I know nothing about KDP.
This is like a night of just all the stuff Amy knows.
We front loaded.
I wasn't prepared for that.
I'm like, Merch, no. I'm like, KDP, no. I'm like,
wait, let's skip KDP. We can talk Etsy.
It's called Illustrator over here, Photoshop over in California, Procreate down in Texas. That's what we got.
Oh, God.
It's not a bad little mix.
No, it's not.
We should come together. We'd be a force to reckon with.
We'd be so confused and
I know.
each other. We've tried that. We're like, I hate the other program so much.
I know.
Okay, Amy. So, we'll give you a break after this one a little bit, but KDP.
All right. So KDP, it's another Amazon thing where you can upload like books. You can publish your own books, or I do a lot of no content books, which are basically like notebooks and stuff, journals, and you can put your pretty little merch designs on them, and people buy them. It's actually a really fun program once you kind of get used to it. The uploading is a little bit tedious, but it's worth it. And now with Neil's Book Bolt, like it's super more efficient. So
okay,
it's fun.
Yeah, talk about that, because
I was like, what's the Book Bolt?
I mean, I've seen like that on Facebook with like a graphic and like, but I don't know anything.
It is the merch informer for books. Plus, it has its own. He has interiors that you can use, a cover creator that you can use, and research. So, and it helps you upload too. Like you can do hotkeys and things, and it makes the process a lot easier when you're going, because it can be a little tedious. But
have you ever used InDesign for making?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I stick with Procreate even for that. Procreate over and sometimes like Affinity Designer I'll get in there to make interiors, but for the most part I just do line journals.
So what are you saying? What is InDesign then, Erin? I mean, I've heard of it, but why would you think it would be good with KDP? Or why?
Well, it's an Adobe program, and it's basically to create books and like layouts and stuff. So I've used it because we did Create Space, but we were doing coloring books, so it was completely different. And our coloring books are still in Create Space. We haven't even moved them over to KDP. Because we just kind of moved on from that. But so yeah, I would just use InDesign. It was really easy because I could just drop in and you know everything, and then it looked like a book. You could just roll through, and then you save it as a PDF, and then you upload it to I did to Create Space, and then they would approve it and make sure it was like correct. But that was it. It was kind of like a way to lay out. But I guess I think like the tangent templates or something.
Yeah.
I think hers worked with InDesign too. So you could like import those and then put like your cover on it and then like whatever else you wanted to add. But like you didn't have to go through and create, like if you wanted a notebook with lines, you would have to go through and create a line on every page. Her templates were like inserted or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do with putting it in like Procreate or other programs, because it's already like the size is there for you, and it just helps streamline the process. I really do want to figure out InDesign. I've heard so many people talk about how incredible that is for making your own interiors.
Yeah, it's really easy. I mean, I would use the interiors that are already created, but then like to create your cover, you create your cover and everything, your spine, everything in InDesign. So, but yeah, like it was super easy. I literally just watched a couple of YouTube videos, and there's a couple things that I got stuck on, but I just YouTube it, and it was pretty simple.
Easier than Illustrator then, huh?
Everything is easier than Illustrator. Illustrator can suck it. I'm still mad. I'm still mad at it. I can still do stuff in it, but sometimes I'm like, God, you're so stupid.
Oh God, I do the same thing.
Program.
Yeah, the problem is too, like I'll get over in Photoshop and like I'll do it for like one specific thing, and I'm like, I know I could do what I need to do in Photoshop, but I don't know how to do it. So then I have to move it back over to Illustrator so I can finish it. It's really obnoxious.
I'm that way. I'm like in Illustrator. I'm like, if I could just do this in Photoshop, it would take me 10 seconds. But in here, it's like 75 steps. And I've been here for 3 hours and I've gotten nothing done.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, InDesign's super cool. I should send you like the tutorial that I watched. It was like a beginner, like 10 things or something.
Yeah, for sure. Do it. And then we can even post it in the comments for people to be able to check out. And I mean, that's definitely something that I'm interested. I'm not going to be interested in doing like a whole probably spread of like print on demand stuff, but I can kind of see, especially through, and there's nothing in the works because obviously we have a bazillion things on our plates, but like I could see doing something like when it comes to like a planner or, you know, something like that, but that would be specific to, you know, what we would want to do to help people with like their e-com business or something. So down the line, I could definitely see something like that. And it's nice to know that InDesign is available for that. And I think that it's even though I haven't done anything with KDP, it's something that is so tangible. Like for me to just be like, oh yeah, of course I can create a book. Like it's not even like, because for some people they'd be like, oh gosh, that just seems like a big thing. But like being in the print on demand space and in this community with so many people doing so many different things, it's like, yeah, totally, you can create a book, no problem. You know, it's kind of neat.
That's where like mindset is so important, because like and that's one thing that print on demand is like shown me. I had no idea how to make a t-shirt, let alone like what all that entailed. And then I did it and it was like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then you just kind of add the extra layers and eventually it's just like nobody wakes up knowing how to do it, but you learn and it's not that bad, you know, once like the water's not cold.
And for, I mean, design stuff, truly, like I pretty much learned everything on YouTube. YouTube's, I mean, it's amazing. Like step by step by step, you know, you're able to whip stuff together. So just takes practice. But yeah, I mean, I didn't take any real formal. I know, Amy, you were able to take a couple of formal, you know, courses, but they were like $10 Udemy courses. They were like nothing.
Yeah, I've taken a couple Udemy classes. I'm enrolled in Skillshare, but YouTube, yeah, there's so much content on YouTube.
What's Skillshare? Because I honestly, I mean, I've heard of it, but I know nothing about that.
Skillshare is an incredible platform. It's for like business, creatives, entrepreneurship, everything. And it's basically like the Netflix of Udemy. There's all different courses and it's one-time fee a month. And they have a pretty cool like free trial. I think you can get like 2 months for free or 2 months for like 99 cents or something. And
that's cool.
I learn a lot on there because
there's a per month, you know?
Gosh, I don't, because I actually just paid for the year. I think it's like $7-8, maybe $9.
Like, I just paid for the whole year, whatever. I just bought.
Well, it was a great deal. Like it wasn't that bad. I've had it for a while. They have you want to learn InDesign? I'm sure they have classes on InDesign. There's some merchers that have courses on there. KDP courses, how to draw, how to use this program and that program. It's got everything.
Awesome. Yeah. So 2 months of Skillshare for 99 cents. If anybody, now is kind of a good time to dip into learning something new too. So obviously out of Q4, the dust has settled. Work through. Hopefully you guys are ramped up back into the swing of things. And what a great time to focus and learn something new over the next couple months as well. And so 99 cents for that for a couple months sounds great.
Well, and it says $99 a year. So if you did it for 3 months to try it out and then $99 for a year, I mean, that's pretty good. Look,
girl,
you just for like unlimited. It says it has like 27,000 classes.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and some of them are nice and short too. So like while I'm cooking dinner, I'll have my iPad, you know, on and I'm listening and watching while I'm cooking. So it's like,
yeah. You have, Amy, do they give an affiliate link for you?
There is, but it's.
Well, get it and drop it. Whatever. You're the one. We didn't even hear about this before. So whatever, put it in the comments. Like Emily just asked for it. So you got to give them what they want, girl. So go through.
What happened? It's like, I don't know. It's weird. The whole
thing. There's nothing wrong with that. You just promote.
I am the world's worst entrepreneur, y'all.
Yeah. No, you're not. Oh my God.
Like, no, I don't want your money. I don't want your little rewards. Okay. But I think I get like a free month or something.
We're gonna address this right now because okay, so it's either you who's sitting here donating your time to this amazing community is going to get a very small portion of you just promoting this great program, which they're happy to do because they want people like you sharing it. Or they get 100% of it. All these people that we don't know, they could be very evil people, and we know that you're not. These could be super evil people.
Give me all the free months.
You know, we can donate it to a freaking dog rescue or something at least, right? So let's do that. So see, Emily's agreeing with that. So yeah, totally. And it's funny, I was thinking about this today because I know, and actually, Aaron, Matt came to mind when I was thinking about this because I know that there's so much that goes into not just sharing information with people because so there's somebody that's going to do an event and they want us to come out in Michigan and they want us to come. It's just a e-com event and it's kind of like a high level mastermind type thing. And I was thinking about that and how you know, they actually right now don't like put out content, and they're not sure what they're going to do or whatever, if they're going to do that. But it's like, okay, they're interested in sharing it on this like small, intimate level. And it's interesting because when somebody's out there and like sharing what they've gone through, not just their journey, but Matt does a lot of testing. And you guys, when he does a lot of testing, he's doing it with two things, time and money, because he's spending a lot of money on AMS to kind of figure this stuff out. So it's like, not only is he giving this stuff away, like now they have ways that you can actually access a little bit more of this for, I don't know what, it's like $20 a month or something. I don't even know if you can still get involved. And I'm not trying to, you know, crazy promote something. All I'm trying to say is that when people are going through and spending their money and time, but then people want to criticize that, hey, oh my gosh, now they're trying to sell something. I'm like, do you understand how much time and money they've already put into something that they're just handing you on a silver platter? Like, yeah, like that's exactly what it's about. So I don't know. There's kind of a different perspective. And I think the problem is, and I understand your reservation, Amy, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are just slinging stuff and just to sling stuff, basically. So I totally get it. But anyways, that was not on the list for topics, but I thought I'd just like talk about it a little bit.
No, and I think it's really important to value your time and to know that it is worth something. The thing with that RJ and Matt do is they really want to help people. They're not, and they're not saying that they're the ones with the only answer. Like they know that there's multiple ways to get to the, you know, the finish line or wherever goal you want to get to, but this is their way of doing it. So, but yeah, like Matt always says, if you pay for something, you're more dedicated to actually following through and using the information. If you just get everything for free, like you probably won't do very much with it because it was free. And you know, and I feel like it's, you know, I think that that's important. So, but yeah, I feel like if you're going to talk about what you're using and you have an affiliate link, I say, why not? It doesn't, if people want to support you, I think it's less about you making money and more about people wanting to support you because of what you're sharing.
And appreciate giving back. You're not just on this show too. You're on Merch Money, which is an incredible show as well on Monday night. So like you're donating your time, you're muting yourself because you have your kids and your dogs in the background. Like you're juggling a lot. Like you already are working on having, you know, time to be able to dedicate to, you know, uploading on merch and working with Procreate and doing your 100-day challenge and homeschooling and all this stuff. So you know what? Gosh darn it, people can appreciate what you're bringing to the table. And I'm thankful for the Skillshare thing. So I'm just not, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for your link to sign up. And if I never get it, then you're robbing me of the ability of learning.
Oh, good grief.
Oh man, putting on the guilt.
Oh,
A little bit.
Yeah. Coming at it hard. Okay, let's get well, that was a fun thing to discover, though. I'm glad that you brought that up. I think that's incredibly valuable, regardless if we have to give our money to the evil people or if we are able to give you some. So now we get to move on to a really cool topic that Aaron is basically going to take over, and that is Etsy. So
I need to get over and take the money.
Right. Well, it's like pulling teeth. Everybody's gonna jump on her about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But Etsy, so this is super duper cool. I know that you guys, I mean, Aaron, let's talk a little bit about your actual timeline though, because Etsy was pre-merch for you guys, right?
For me.
For you. Okay, so run through that. Run through, I mean, just basically with Etsy, because that was, you guys started right around the eclipse time. We know that was kind of like the big thing for you guys. How long prior to that did you do Etsy? And then what has been your Etsy journey up until now? Because that's almost, this is going to be 3 years since that started.
I think I opened my Etsy shop sometime in 2015 or 2016. 15. And I was like new to everything. Like I don't even remember how I came across it, but I think we've talked about this before, where I would create digital prints that you could download and instantly print your house and like put them on your wall for like, you know, your nursery or your living room or whatever. And you could like, you know, they came in like, you could print them in multiple sizes and as many times as you want. So I just thought it was cool. So I started doing that, but I had no idea what I was doing. And I probably didn't even get a sale for like 3 months. They just sat there. And I remember Matt woke me up in the morning one time and he was like, babe, you got your first sale on Etsy. I was like, oh, yay. And it was like, I only sold them for like $5. So it wasn't like super, like I made a bunch of money or anything, but it was kind of cool.
It skipped over. What were you selling at the time?
Digital downloads.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like an instant download. So you purchase it and then the file gets emailed to you and then you can print it right then, or you can take it to Costco or whatever. Yeah. And I still have that shop, but I literally haven't looked at it in like whatever. I don't really pay attention to it. And every once in a while it's like, ding, you got a sale. I'm like, cool. I'm like, whatever. I don't have to do anything. It's done. Like I don't have to email it. It does it automatically. So that's what I was doing. And it was more of like, I just wanted to be creative and I was trying to find something I enjoyed doing, and I had quit my job. So I was like, trying to like figure some stuff out. And then that's why Matt found merch, because he thought, oh, well, this might work well for you because you're doing this. So maybe merch. And then that kind of took off. So, but we came back to Etsy just because we thought, okay, we kind of understand this whole e-com thing a little bit better. Merch has kind of given us this foundation. We've learned a lot. Let's kind of tackle Etsy and see if we can, because Etsy's different. So it's like we can capture a different customer on Etsy versus Amazon. So let's try and do that, because I think the designs that I can do, some of them would work better on Etsy than Amazon, and then vice versa. So, I mean, that's kind of what we did. And so, I mean, that's why I'm so clueless about merch now, like the changes and upgrades and like what you guys are talking about. I'm sorry. And plus I don't really do a lot of the listing and SEO and all that anyway. That's Matt. But so when something changes, I really don't know or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. And when you're doing, it really doesn't matter, obviously, to you, like when you're you're designing, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter what platform it goes on. Like, it really does, like whether it's merch or like, okay, I'm designing. So that doesn't change. I mean, it could change with the niche or the whatever. But I mean, really, when you're designing, it doesn't really matter.
Right. I mean, I think on Etsy, I'm definitely more involved in the listings because there is a lot more to do in the listings, and
you want to make them pretty. Remember, we already
and Matt doesn't care that much. He's more like keywords, tags, title, all of that fun stuff. So but yeah, I do all of that, so I'm a little bit more involved on that end, and I kind of know what's going on. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're sitting. And then our big Etsy shop, we're planning to move and build the brand on Shopify. So that's our next step. We'll still have Etsy though, because I mean,
you guys are doing, this is one of the things that's super cool as well, is that you guys are also doing a mock-up shop.
Yes.
And that's called the Trunk Show, right?
Trunk Studio.
The Trunk Studio.
Now, and that's similar to digital downloads, right?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It's very similar concept. It's just different uses. Like the prints are for printing, and then the mock-ups are usually for either to use on Etsy or another platform, or your Shopify shop, or your marketing, however you want to use the photo. So
it's kind of cool because it's when you think about different things, like we talked about, KDP or whatever, and tangent templates, and that's like a piece of the puzzle for that. That's for creators to actually utilize to be able to sell their products. Like that's kind of what this is. This is for, it's more a, B2B play, because that's, people are utilizing that to be able to sell their products and stuff. And like you said, mostly it does seem like it's very Etsy-esque. But they're awesome. And I love that. And I think, I know that you guys, as far as I could tell, and far as I know, from last we had a talk, like you guys are, full force and are going to continue to build that out and add more and more to that, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's so fun. And like to know that like people enjoy it and can use it to help them be more successful doing like getting something that I offered them, like that's insane because, and it's fun. Like, it's kind of like how she was saying about how Amy was talking about the Procreate stuff and like KDP and like how it's fun for her to like create all this stuff. And like, I love creating these mock-ups. I get to hang out with one of my best friends, Jasmine, who's the photographer. Like, it's just been like, it's just been crazy. And I don't know. It's been really good. The store's been doing really well. And so, yeah, I definitely want to continue doing it. And just hearing all the people are like, I need this and I need that and I need that. And I'm like, I get it. Because that's why I started doing this, is because I'm like, I want this shirt in my shop, but I don't want to use these mock-ups that are out there or the plain ones you get from the, Printful or Printify or wherever. So it was kind of frustrating. And I was just like, I wish I could just make my own. And then I was like, I know I can't be the only one. So I just was like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. So
awesome. So how do people find, number one, I know that you guys do share stuff in Merch Mastermind. And so I know that there's like different things and different specials sometimes that you share, but how do people find that?
The different,
like if they want to like search your mock-ups and stuff, like, I mean, I know on Etsy you said it's the Trunk Studio, but I mean, is there like, I'm not super familiar with Etsy, so how do they just go and search that if they go to Etsy?
Yeah, you can just go to Etsy and then search. You just type in the Trunk Studio, and then there should be a little thing that pops up underneath that says like, do you want to search shops with this name? And then you click that, and then it should just bring up the Trunk Studio. It's like a blue and white logo.
Sweet. And then, so what was the most recent Photoshop that you guys did that you had to leave me in Vegas? And then what's the, and I say that we actually had an opportunity. Okay. So if nobody knows, like, this is our location. Amanda is in the frozen tundra in Michigan. Aaron and Matt live in beautiful Southern California. And Amy lives in Taco Margaritaville down, and where they have actual fiesta, which I just learned is much better than Cinco de Mayo, which just makes me want to move down there even more. She's down in Texas. So that's where we're all at. And so I was down in Vegas for an event and got to see Matt and Aaron because they came down there because they don't live too far away. But they did have to just pop in for a day, and then they had to go back because they did a photo shoot. And what was that photo shoot? I mean, I know it was for Etsy, but what did you guys do?
We did more 3001s, Black and Athletic Heather. We did Next Level tank tops, the 6733s in Heather White, Premium Heather, and Heather Vintage Black. And then we did the Bella Canvas 8430, which is the tank top, the racerback, which in the Heather Black, what is it? Charcoal Heather, and the other one, which is gray tri-blend, I think. The two that sell on Printful. And then a lot of Gildan. We had a lot of people asking for Gildan, so we did the Gildan soft style in black and military green, the Heather like sport gray, I think it's called. And we did a lot. I mean, we had 2 days of shoots, and then we did Easter. We did a lot of Easter stuff. So the Easter stuff was mostly 3001 and the 3001 youth. So
okay, and that's Bella. And the only reason
Bella Canvas.
The only reason I asked you is because Melinda just asked, what t-shirts do you generally recommend for Etsy? I like Bella 3001 that everyone uses, but a lot of my buyers are more curvy and I'm afraid they are too fitted.
I mean, 3001 is a little bit more slim fit on that front. It's not slim fit, but it's more versus like maybe Port & Co. Or Gildan. I felt like Gildan was a little bit more boxy. But I know for women, it's hard because like we've been trying to find a women's shirt that we like. And it's been difficult because Bella Canvas and women's shirts equals baby tee, I guess, for some reason. I don't know why. They're so tiny. And so we just don't want to send those out. And then people are like, this is too small. And we get like tons of returns. But yeah, I mean, we use the 3001 and we've been pretty happy with that. And we haven't had too many complaints. I think like the one that comes to mind is short. like people who are like 5', 5'1", we've had 2 returns because it was too long. So I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, it's hard because Bella Canvas also has a lot of colors available, especially on Printful. So it's, you know, I think that's why it's so popular. And it's a better quality than, you know, maybe Gildan, especially for women. If you're selling to like men and you have like a general store, I mean, Gildan might be okay, the soft style. But for women, I just feel like the Bella Canvas is a better option.
Okay. And then another question, do you guys use Printful for Etsy or your soon-to-be Shopify store? How are you handling the new expenses for Printful, now charging sales tax on the retail price of what we sell?
We do not use Printful. We did in the beginning, and then we switched to
an independent.
Yeah. Well, we went to Printify, and then we went from Printify to an independent printer.
Printify can suck it.
I know, it was hilarious. Never mind. We're not even going to get into that. So, but yeah, I'm not sure about the new fees for Printful and like sales tax. I mean, that's hard because you probably ship to the entire United States and sales tax can be very varying. So,
crazy.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you'd have to do like you shouldn't have to do like a state tax for each state, right?
Depends on how it all shakes out.
I don't even know. I am not a tax professional. I have no idea how.
Yeah, no,
it's
not
really
talking,
confusing.
definitely not getting into details for taxes for sure. And
Yeah,
it's a complex topic in general. So
yeah, I don't. But yeah, we don't use Printful anymore. We use an independent source. So,
and you know what? And we've heard a lot. So, even in the ecom, this isn't just for print on demand stuff. This is something that's been shaking out in the ecom space for a while. Actually, I think the first time that I had kind of a little bit of a deep dive, you know, lessons or whatever talk was last year. We went to an event and there was a guy that sat there and actually like talked to me. It was a great discussion. But he talked about this the entire time, and basically it's a cluster. That's just is what it is. We just kind of you have to do your best, stay on top of it. It's a mess when it comes to e-commerce as well, and so definitely you need to work it out directly. I mean, anybody that's in business and doing it, you should have a tax professional, and you just have to work with them and trust them to find a good one and trust them that they know what they're doing. I mean, our guy is really, really good too. And it's always kind of a learning experience on both of our sides because this is all stuff that's really, really new. And I really don't even think the government knows what the hell's going on. So that's it on that. So we just kind of have to roll with it and work with your professional that you work with on that.
Yeah. I also see Jody mentioned she uses the Anvil 880. And I know a couple big sellers who use that for their women's shirts and like them. So I've never personally used them, but these sellers, I think, know what they're doing. So I would probably trust that it's probably a good shirt for women. But it's a women's cut, so it's going to be, you know.
Cool. All right. So let's see. What do we got next? Okay, Erin, were you taking the time management thing you were saying?
No, I'm not. That was a joke. I don't know. No.
You know, it's funny.
Please teach me. I'm
and well, it's you guys like, and I swear, like this is something that I feel is definitely potentially a little bit of misconception. Like, I don't know, even the people that I go and I meet and I talk to that that work for themselves full time. I don't know anybody that like just has everything on lockdown outside of Anas. Maybe he's probably the only one. But that's just a total anomaly. But that has it like totally on lockdown when it comes to, you know, quote unquote time management, because there's life. And I feel like it's just that constant work and growth and learning. And, you know, especially when you're always trying to do something new or wanting to put something more on your plate. And really, I know Tara, and she has a full, you know, on family, and she's managing a business. And she had mentioned in the comments, like, that's one of the things that she really wanted to hear about. And one of the things that I think is really important, instead of us like looking at how to focus on time management, I think the biggest thing, and we keep calling it that, but we're not really managing time. You have to manage your priorities. And so I hope that can just, I mean, that one thing to me has been very significant. And so I'm not worried about like my time per se, or managing every single minute that I have there. What I do is I am heavily analytical of what the priorities are. And so that's been, it's a challenge. And, you know, not just priorities in like producing in our business, but priorities in what I want or what I need to fulfill my life, including my marriage and as a mother. And, you know, so whatever that is for you, I think it's really important to first take a step back. So we might get a little bit deep here for a minute, take a step back and look at what that means to you, because you don't want to wait until there's some sort of crazy life event that shakes you up to where you're like, oh my gosh, now I need to step back and analyze my priorities. Okay, so I think that it can be a little bit dangerous for us to get into a situation to where we're, you know, constantly looking at, you know, how do I maximize every single minute of my day? And then it's just the days are just passing because you're maximizing the minutes with like your business. And so, again, so take a step back, look at what is most important and why are you doing it? Are you trying to get a gazillion uploads up just to get a gazillion uploads up? Or are you working your butt off like to be able to have time with your family? Well, if that's the case, then you need to figure out, I'm all about grinding it out. Ecom hustle couple, we're all about hustling, right? But like there needs to be a reason, and you need to be able to understand that when you're making those priorities and figuring out what you need to tackle, then also realize why you're doing that and make that a priority too, if that's your priority. So I don't know if that really, you know, totally makes a lot of sense. Because again, I've talked about structure before and everything, but I think that that's one of the most impactful things that I would want people to take a step back and look at first, and then be able to kind of fill in those priorities. And I feel like that opens up a heck of a lot of time, because I think you realize there's a lot of things that you're doing that just don't matter.
Right. Well, and I also feel like sometimes Matt has to keep reminding me when I do this, because I'll want to finish something. Like right now, I'm completely updating one of my stores. And so he's like, just do like 20 a day. Like you don't have to do it all at once. Like that's like, it's not gonna happen, you know, in a couple hours in one day. And I'm just like, oh, it's so hard for me to grasp. And sometimes it's like, just schedule in a time to do some of it. And then over, you know, the week, it'll get done. But it's like, I feel like sometimes I can only focus on that one thing when it's like, that's not the only priority I have that day. So I need to schedule time to work on that, but also do these other things too. So,
yeah,
you know, it's hard because I'm perfectionist, which gets in the way a lot. And it's, you know, but yeah, sometimes I'm just like, there's not enough time.
Well, I think that's a great point that he made too. And that's really important. And I know that we've actually had to do that stuff as well. And, you know, looking at, and this goes back to like when we were doing books before and we were moving massive volume of books, and we had to go through and we had to process them and clean them and organize them and then, you know, ship them out and whatever. And initially it's just like, we could keep going forever, you know? And I think that's one of the challenges, is that there's so much that we could do. KDP, Etsy, merch, multi-uploader, you know, Shopify store. We could work forever. It's never done. Okay. It's just never, ever, ever going to be done. We have to know that. So like you have to break it up. Like you said, like if you are looking in, I don't know however many you have to upload, but say it's a big number. Say you're taking on something really massive and you're like, oh my gosh, I have 400 listings to upload or to update or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, just break it down and put it into, you know, a few different chunks so that it's that much easier and more manageable. And you're probably going to do better work with that as well. So like, and it's not going to feel like that big of a deal. And then truly, you're probably going to get it done quicker than if you just try to tackle it all at once, because what happens is we like get burnt out and then you're like, I can't even deal with this for a while. So then you go a few days instead of it just being like consistently, you know, days over time. And I've actually done stuff like that. Like we have a project, like write out, like it seems like kindergarten stuff, but I've legitimately, we've written, whether it's a piece of paper on a whiteboard and you're like 400 and you like draw out the days and then you just X them out. For some reason, to me, that is incredibly gratifying. Like, okay, great. I hit my, like you said, 20 edits or whatever. Perfect. 20 edits. Great. And it's like, we did have to do that when our uploads kept raising and we're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to hit this? Oh, we got to max your uploads. And so when we were doing that, that's exactly what we had to do, is just have to be like, okay, we need to block this out and like just stay on a manageable task. And then you really do. It's the compound effect. If you guys have never read that, there's a couple books, either The Compound Effects or Slight Edge. Compound Effects by Darren Hardy, Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Both of them are basically, you know, just like Amy was talking about, like if she does something over 100 days, just one design, instead of being like, oh my gosh, of course, could she design 100 designs in 10 days? She could do that and she would knock it out. And in 10 days, if you looked at her, I promise you, if you looked at her 100 designs in 10 days that she completed, her 100 designs in 10 days that she completed, or you look at her designs over the 100 days and she did one over each one of those 100 days, the 100 designs that she did over 100 days are going to be at a much higher quality. She has that little consistency over time. It's going to be more enjoyable. It's not going to feel like a stressor. And if she does 100 in freaking 10 days, she's going to be out of her freaking mind. Her work isn't going to be as good. And so, I mean, those are just definitely good points, you know, that you had mentioned. Great recommendations by Matt, actually.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, like I think time management is probably one of the biggest things that we all struggle with in this business, because it's your business, you know, like there's no boss and you don't have to come to work and they don't tell you, okay, this is your project, go do it. It's, you know, it's up to you. And so you really have to find a way to make it all work together. And I think that's why we kind of backed off merch a little bit here and there, because priorities are somewhere else and we need to put our time there, because that's where we're seeing, you know, that's where we want to grow or whatever. So yeah.
Oh, it is really true. Like, and again, that's why stepping back and analyzing whether it's where you're spending your time. And it was really cool. I had a discussion recently, and this is where, you know, analytics or whatever, like, come into play. You know, if you are able to step back and look at your business, for instance, I remember there was discussions about where is the majority of your sales coming from, and a lot of people would, you know, say standards, so standard shirts. And with merch, they're like, okay, well, I'm just doing standards. Well, I mean, you do have to prioritize that. So if you are making a heck of a lot more just on standards versus the other, and you have no other time, like you have too many designs and you don't have any other time to put them on other stuff, then yes, you know, obviously you have standards, which is kind of very cool. Again, that that merch is rolling out this multi-product uploader, because they're going to be, then you're going to be able to put them on all of them. And then you have the opportunity to see a little bit more. I mean, because, but I mean, that's exactly what you want to do or what you want to look at. And so it does take a little bit of time to evaluate stuff, but you have to be real with yourself as well and be like, okay, if income right now, if I need to make, you know, X amount of dollars, you know, and that's really, really important to me, where is that income coming from? And yeah, put that focus on there. Double down if it's something that you have to do, and focus on that. So Yeah, I think it takes a little bit. And again, it's priority management. I think that's what I'm going to actually shift to. So anytime somebody starts talking about, time management or whatever, maybe that's what my planner will be. It'll be a priority management planner instead of a time management one. But
yeah, what is a good way to take inventory of what your priorities are and how to put your focus? Because I know for me, I have my hands in so many different pots. It's okay, how do I even see where to prioritize it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you mean. You're I have 40 priorities.
Yeah.
Which one is really the priority?
Exactly. How do you manage the priorities to manage your priorities?
Well, that's when it does get a little deep. It does. So, I mean, that's the thing. When you have so much stuff on your plate, you have to step back and look at, then it's a life thing. It's okay, what is important? If what are the top 3 to 5? You have 40 things, which is way too freaking many. What are the top 3 to 5, that are going to help me get to what my ultimate vision is for my life, what I'm doing this for? I'm not doing this to run myself ragged. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it so that you have more time with your family? Okay, well then you need to figure out those. If that's the case, then you need to look at those priorities and figure out what is going to accomplish that. Because otherwise there's a lot of things that are not aiding in, especially if there's 40, there's a lot of things that are not aiding in whatever that is. So that's a personal question for each person, looking back and saying, okay, what do I really want? And for the most part, and it's interesting. This is something, gosh, I should probably I don't have one at the tip of my tongue right now, but there's a lot of good books that kind of challenge you and help you to think through that. But that's something that is incredibly important. And once you have that on lockdown, and then you keep turning back to that with every decision that you're making, then it just helps clarify and it helps you filter. And that's one of the things that I'm kind of really big on, or one of the terms that I try and focus on a lot, whether it comes to what I'm doing during the day, or what activities I'm doing, or whatever, what different content that I'm taking in. Filtering is very, very important, and it's really easy to get distracted and take on a lot of different things. But yeah, that for each person, I think that is the tough part, and people have to figure that out first. Why are you doing these different activities, and are they getting you to, your ultimate end goal? So.
Yeah. And I think, cause Kristen says it makes me anxious not to do some things all at once. And I'm like, yes, because if I only do it half of it, especially with listings on Etsy, this is how my mind works. But if one person goes to this listing and then they go to the one I haven't done yet, and then it's not going to be the same, they're going to be like, what the hell? This shop sucks. And it's but probably no one's even going to see that, but that's just how I work. I know. So, but it's even if they do, oh, well, it's not going to be this dramatic, thing, but it's just, that's, but yeah, I can see how. I can see, I'm the same.
Sorry, I was going to have to say shout out to Melissa Haynes. I'm a single mom, have a full-time job, and still upload 400 a week. Hope to increase to 400 a day when I get a new uploader. But I'm doing it because my son is starting college this year. You are incredible. And I think that, Melissa, we're going to have to chat a little bit after this, and maybe we'll be able to kind of highlight what you're doing, because I think that would be something amazing that a lot of people in the community would love to hear about. So PM us, so DM us, whatever. But I would love to hear a little bit more about that, because you being able to do 400 uploads a week, you guys, I mean, I don't even know what that divides out to, but you're looking, that's what, 66 times 7, pretty damn close to 60 a day. Damn, that is incredible. So anyways, I think that's awesome. Congratulations to you on that. And yeah, we need to be in touch on that, because I think that you could give a lot of really actionable insight on the whole, time management thing. So
yeah, that's inspiring for sure. I would love to hear how you manage that. Full-time job, single mom, and killing it. That's that's impressive.
Well, I mean, Amy, how do you what are some things that you do? Because I know you have kids and husbands and
homeschool
stuff. And I mean, and you said like you kind of do this on your own, and your husband has his own job. Yeah. So like Amanda has, you know, she can boss around John all day. So she's
I need to get somebody I can boss around. Like need to hire a VA. Yeah. Actually, Amanda's trying to encourage me to like hire somebody to come in during the week and kind of help me out. And I'm playing around with that idea just to sit with the kids for a little while so I can just focus for like 2 or 3 hours. But for now, like what I do,
changer.
Yeah.
I mean, like we didn't do it for the first 2 years of you know, Kenzie, and I mean, we bounced her back and forth. We juggled what we could. We were exhausted. I mean, new babies, so we're exhausted at the end of the night trying to still run our businesses. Couldn't even like collaborate because by the time we were like, she goes down for a minute or whatever, she's going to half sleep. We couldn't. So, I mean, that's once we started and I'm talking, and we started 2 days a week, 3 hours. I mean, we were at home, you know, with her. So, but 2 days when she's banging, I have the funniest pictures of her like on the window, like face screaming. Like we blacked out like our office because she would do that, and she would like look under the door and try and see us. But 2 days a week for 3 hours a day, game changer for us to be able to work together for 6 hours of like focus. Like this is our effort to work together. So I know you're not like working with somebody else, but you even 2 days a week, start there. 2 days a week, 3 hours a day. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, it's something that we're definitely talking about and considering because like right now what I'm doing, and I mean, it works. I'll spend a couple days a week researching and I'll spend a couple of weeks a couple days designing, and I'm designing like in specific niches so I can continue to like reuse elements and stuff. And then it's like, okay, do I want to put it on merch? Do I want to put it on KDP? Like what pod am I focused on for this particular week? So I don't know. I don't have a perfect system. I just kind of steal time where I can. And I mean, it's tough because like I am a homeschool mom. I was having them on online. They were doing like an online school thing and that was okay, but it just wasn't clicking for my kids as well as I wanted it to. So it's like, all right, you know, I signed up for this. So now I had to switch curriculum and now it's taking more of my morning out. But, you know, that's just kind of part of like where I am in life. And I know eventually one thing that's really helped me out is that I'm not in a race anymore. When I first started merch, it felt like this rat race. Like I didn't want to be left behind. And now it's like, you know, I'm doing okay. I'm going at my own pace. Things are going to get better. Just do what you can and not worry too much because that's when, you know, the quality goes down, the burnout comes, and it's just it's not fun anymore. And I really do enjoy what we're doing. So
you're rocking it out, and it's a marathon. Like clearly that we've been able to see that. It's all fantastic for somebody who's, like you said, worried about not being left behind. But like you said, people get burnout and whatever, and this is absolutely a marathon, an endurance race. Like I'm gonna be I get to speak at an event this weekend, and it's kind of funny, and hopefully I'm not sure if I'll bring out the actual talk later on. I'll probably do it sometime, but it revolves around an endurance race. So the entire, and this, I mean, e-commerce, or entrepreneurship, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. And I think a lot of people get ramped up and they're so excited, the adrenaline's going, they're sprinting, not realizing that it doesn't matter how fast you run the first few miles, you guys, like tortoise and the hare type thing. Like this is a journey. It's a long time for us to go. And so, so I think that, like you said, it's awesome that you got into that groove. And I think it's normal. There's the excitement. And that's great to have that rush and that momentum to go through. But, kind of getting set in your groove and comfortable with, like you said, moving forward and chipping away at it. I think that's really important. So it's awesome that you've been, because this is about 3 years that you've been into almost, right?
Almost. I started June of 2017.
You know what's so weird about this, and I've never heard this before, but I remember like it was concrete for me when we first started doing books, and I first started doing that full time. It was not until 3 years, and I said this, it was such an aha moment. I don't know why it even happened, but I felt like for the first 3 years, I was just like grasping and trying to figure out what was going on. I never felt like I mean, we were doing well, but I never felt like I was like in a zone or like in my groove. And for some reason, that 3-year mark was a freaking switch. It was like, so, and the thing is like, that's doing books. Like, I'm sure that like, cause we haven't even been doing, like, now our focus is private label and our brand. So like, and I'm sure after doing that for 3 years full time, like whether it equates to like the 10,000 hours or whatever rule that it happens, like just that you're saying like that 3 years, you just get into a like, okay, I'm not, all over the place. I kind of am in my groove. I know what I'm doing, and you can kind of, build out your business. So.
Well, yeah. And I think that's like, what's hard too, when people are so like in merch, people are so focused on that tier. What tier? I got to get to the next tier. Tier. What tier are you in? And it's like, stop. Tiers don't matter. What fills your tier is what matters.
Yeah.
That's what you need to concentrate on, because you're going to get to the next tier because you make products that people want and they buy them, and then you move up. So if you're putting up nothing just to get to that next tier, you're not going to get anywhere. So it's like, don't worry so much about like, I got to get to the next tier. I got to fill all my slots. It's like, just make sure what you're filling your slots with is quality, because that's what's going to build your business. That's what's going to create that foundation that's going to move you forward, and keep coming back year after year with your holiday stuff and whatever. Like, if you're building that foundation, it's just going to keep working for you year after year, month after month, or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so easy to fall in that trap. Like, oh my gosh, I've got to tear up. And so you start just throwing everything up at the wall. The quality goes down and everything, because now it's just, how many can I upload? And then you feel really discouraged. Why isn't anything selling? And then it gets more discouraging because everything falls off. And then it's just like, you know what? Merch is broken. I quit. You got nowhere.
You guys, and here's one of the things, and I definitely want to say this too, because again, being in an it's funny now thinking about going and like speaking at this conference and like looking at like the years, like I looked at our timeline of what we've done over time. I'm like, gosh, we're kind of like an OG in this space, right? And so like just thinking about how many people will be like, oh, books, okay, now books are dead. Okay, RAOA, now RAOA. Dude, I know people that sell over $1 million in books. Like they have some buyers or whatever with them, but like it's not this big huge operation, and they're still doing it today. Okay, I just met somebody that's doing RAOA. People are telling him, oh, you have to do private label, you have to do this, and he's like, we just worked and we just sold $500,000 of this product in a day over Black Friday. Like this was like what and again, they had a team too as well, but it was like, listen, everything works. Merch works. Etsy works, like all these different KDP works. Like if you guys want to focus and get really, really, really freaking good at one thing, like that's probably a good idea. I mean, I like doing different things. Like it's been interesting because I feel like a lot of what we've done has like overlapped, and we don't spread ourselves too thin. Like we don't do books anymore. We don't do RAOA anymore, like that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like all of this stuff works. So to somebody just say, oh, blah, 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 this is dead. Like, no, it's not. You just decided that you weren't going to continue to focus. Maybe there was a little bit of changes that happened, but it doesn't mean it wasn't dead. People are still killing it. I promise you, because I've met them or I know them, especially in merch. People are making multiple tens of thousands of dollars a month in the slow times on merch. Like it's so anyways, people remove those excuses from they're just excuses for them. And it's unfortunate.
And was it you that was saying, like, just not too long ago that the like FBA, MBA, all of this, it's just a very small piece of the whole. So there's really not, like, people are worried about saturation and stuff, but it's really not there. Like there really is enough of this pie for all of us to have really good.
Oh my God. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like it's incredible. Like just the different people that I would meet, and like, they're like, oh yeah, this is what I do. And just like you're saying, like different things, like I didn't even know about something 6 or whatever you just said about like one of the
Society 6 or Skillshare, whatever, right? There's so much stuff.
There is. And so like there's so many stuff out there, and it's like FOMO, and I think that that's, you know, let's talk about that on an entirely different show, because we're 15 minutes over, but this is what happens when we throw somebody else into the mix. We had a lot of stuff going on today. Amy gave us quite a list to chat about, so
Well, I just want to add one more thing though to that, to your what you were saying too, is that I feel like it's because they see everybody doing all these different things, and that doesn't mean that they're doing everything. It means that they're doing this, and this person's doing that, and this person's doing that. And it's like, for us, we've done merch, we've done Etsy, we're trying to do Shopify, we've did books. Like, these were all, we're just growing and evolving, and we're moving in a direction that makes us happy. It doesn't mean that merch sucks, we're not going to do it anymore. It's like, it's not that. It's just that we're moving on. We're focused on something else, and that's okay. Don't feel like you have to like get merch up to, you know, 100,000 tier and make $1 million, and then do the same on Etsy. It's like, no, it's okay. You can do one. You don't have to do it all. To find the one that makes you the most happy inside, and the one that, you know, is you're most successful at, the one that you understand the best, because they're all a little bit different, and you might just have different skills that work better on different platforms or whatever. But, you know, it's just, don't get discouraged because things aren't moving quickly, because they're not. We've been doing this for, you know, 3 years, and sometimes I'm like, should we be making more money? But, you know, it's because we're constantly learning and growing. It takes time. We're still relatively new in the Etsy space. Like, we know, but there's stuff to learn all the time. So, you know, it's just patience and work hard and test and learn and network
and have fun and enjoy.
Yes. Most of all, because if
you're miserable, like, why? Just
you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, no amount of money is ever going to like make you feel better about it, you know? So
yeah,
you got to find what makes you happy. I love that.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Awesome, ladies. So great. Well, this was super fun show for our first one all together. I love it.
It's so cool that you're joining us now, Erin.
I know. It's
so exciting. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah. So, all right, ladies. Well, you have a wonderful night, and thank you everybody for joining us and sticking with us for while we decided to go over a little bit. We are girls. We like to chat. So, thanks for hopping on, and you guys have a wonderful week. And I think that we'll hopefully be getting in a groove here. Maybe we'll see you guys next Tuesday at same time, same place.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Bye.